Party is gearing up for the 2019 elections. The ANC's head of elections, Fikile Mbalula, briefing a little earlier today ahead of Friday's launch of the Thuma Mina national campaign, which encourages volunteerism and activism. eNCA reporter Khayelihle Khumalo joins us now from Ekurhuleni. I understand that you have the ANC's Pule Mabe with you. And Khayelihle, I think what we're also interested to know is what the party's response is now to the situation in the Northwest Province.
Well, certainly, Jeremy. Just a couple of hours ago, the Thuma Mina program was launched. And of course, this is one of the first legs for the media. It's a very all-encompassing program. But just to get a sense, Jeremy, what it all just entails of, we have Pule Mabe, who is the national spokesperson of the ANC. A very good afternoon to you, sir.
Afternoon to the viewers of eNCA.
Can you just kindly tell us, what is the program Thuma Mina entail of?
Thuma Mina, put in simple terms, is about service. It's about increasing the pace through which services are provided to communities out there. One of the layers of Thuma Mina, which was showcased today, is the rapid response intervention. You will have seen earlier on we went to a level crossing bridge that has been constructed by the ANC-led city of Ekurhuleni, where the ANC governs, we govern better. The mayor here, Comrade Mzwandile Masina, who's also the chairperson of the region, had told us that just right here in Tembisa, they've already invested monies to the tune of 2 billion rand, which is already been distributed across the community to be able to facilitate the necessary development. You've also heard what the chairperson of the ANC, who's also the premier of the province, had said in his words, that while we fight corruption, we should not be seen to be using the fight against corruption to slow the pace through which services are supposed to be delivered. Fight corruption, but also deliver services with speed. So Thuma Mina is exactly about that, making sure that you inculcate a new culture amongst our people. But of course, the president of the ANC, President Matamela, Cyril Ramaphosa, will be able to launch the program on Friday. We are also hoping and expecting that next week, Monday, he will unveil the Thuma Mina pledge outside the Lituli House. The plans are also afoot to make sure that the same is done across all our 53 regions and 9 provinces in the Republic, because we want to build this culture from across the cadreship of the ANC. The head of elections, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, had already spoken about workshops that are being undertaken to make sure that these volunteers, because one of the significant features of this program is the launch of the Tata Nelson Mandela and Mama Albertina Sisulu Volunteer Corps. You will know that both these two stalwarts would have been 100 this year. So part of their centennial celebration is to be able to make sure that we build a more enhanced volunteer machinery led under the Thuma Mina program.
And still speaking of service delivery, yes, we saw a very drastic step by the national government, virtually taking over the Northwest Province. So what would be the governing party's response?
Well, the governing party has already spoken on this. I mean, it is very important that when the media listens to what the governing party says, as it tracks down the progress, it also says, yes, of course, the ANC did say they will act with speed. And the speed that we are beginning to see, some of it is expressing itself through the kind of interventions that are being made in the province. 1, so that we can return the province to stability. 2, reassure our people out there on the ground that we are serious about making sure that the distribution of service delivery is not halted by protests. 3, make sure that we hold our structures together so that they are in unison in terms of the kind of solutions that the ANC seeks to drive forward. Because when the ANC is united, driving forward the renewal program that this leadership that was elected at the 54th National Conference has pronounced as its mission, begins to be carried forward with ease and without any hindrance.
And obviously, very disturbing reports that we saw, obviously, yes, also with your name, yes, saying that you benefited from a dodgy deal. Are you able to comment to that effect?
To the extent that you are saying it's dodgy, what I can explain to you is that you would have remembered, even when I resigned from Parliament, there were explanations that were given to the extent that as a law-abiding citizen, I do participate in entrepreneurial activities. And this was just but one of those. But of course, certain matters are sub judice. We did engage with the publication on issues that we have picked up, which are a little bit of a challenge. And I can tell you that those engagements are going on, and we'll be able to resolve and clarify those without necessarily creating an unnecessary standoff between ourselves and the Mail and Guardian. We must allow the media to do their work without fear or favor, and where we feel that we have got concerns about their reports, there are relevant platforms available, and of course we are engaging on those to make sure that a remedial stand is at least conveyed out to the public, so that in pursuance of our different traits, credibilities and integrities of individuals are not necessarily put under the hammer. So those matters are being taken care of.
But I guess the pertinent question is, did you benefit at all?
Well, like all other South Africans are supposed to participate in entrepreneurial activities. Where they do so, they must make sure that they follow the rules that are prescribed, so that they are not suspected to be doing things that are wrong.
All right, so thank you so much indeed. So there you have it, Jeremy. The issue of the Northwest continues to be a most topical issue, and that's a word from, of course, the ANC national spokesperson, Pule Mabe, trying to demystify some of the reports which essentially implicated him to have gotten one of the deals, about 49 million rand. But of course, he's saying the matter is receiving attention, and the ANC wants to see stability coming into the Northwest so that service delivery can return in this particular province. It's one of the pillars of Thuma Mina. They are saying it's all about service delivery. It's all about making sure that South Africans, irrespective of which province one lives in, one should be able to get services timelessly.